Yo, G, turn my headphones up. Yeah, like that.
Get them up.
Why do I do this at the beginning of like every single one of my podcasts? I'm like fixing my boobs and my friend's boobs. Oh my God. Hello.
Hi, I wore a special bra for this. What's that?
Feeling like she wore a bra. Okay, so let me see. How's our positioning? How's our position? It's good. Okay. Hey guys, this is Naked Pop. I am here with my friend Carlisle Forrester.
Hello.
Yesterday I called you Carlisle Fisher. I was wasted.
Yeah.
Anyway, so hey guys, are you ready to pop? Let's just jump right into it. So we're just going to ask you some fun questions and get to know you a little bit better.
Let's do it.
So she is a comedian and an actress. You're an actress too?
Yes, I am.
And
I have a podcast. The Two Girls, One Guy podcast. See, on my podcast, we don't film it, so I'm a little nervous. Because, like, normally, if, like, something was asked we didn't want to talk about, we could just be like,
right.
We can't do that now.
We just, like, let it all out. It's, like, raw pop culture. Just everything.
I'm gonna let it
out.
out.
But we can edit it out if you want later.
Okay.
I have edited stuff out, so I'll even edit this out. Okay.
Okay.
So, first things first, I want to make sure, are you subscribed to me? Like,
yes.
On all of my stuff, like on Instagram.
Tell me the names again so that everybody at home can make
Amber
sure.
Dawn Lee 1. That's
it.
here on YouTube, so just like smash that button. And where can they find you?
I'm on Instagram, Carlisle Forrester, my name. And then also the Two Girls, One Guy podcast. Two Girls, One Guy is us teaming up on a guy comic.
So it's like 2 girl comics and 1 guy comic.
Yes, and it's just
that sounds like a fun Saturday night.
It's very fun.
At the Comedy Store.
It's a fun Wednesday night at the Comedy Store. That's where we record it and win. But yeah, we basically just like grab these guys whenever they're coming off stage and take them upstairs and see what happens. Maybe we should start videoing.
Maybe we should. Have you do some videos at your house, and I'll come over there and do that. Well, it's not at your house. It'll be at like the Comedy Store.
We do it at the store, yeah.
Is the Comedy Store your favorite place to perform?
Yes, by far. It is the best club, I'd say, in the world.
I know. So it's a good place to start out. Like, when I was getting into comedy, and when I did like my first and second performance there at the Comedy Store, I was like so panicked and so privileged. I was like, oh my God, I'm performing at the Los Angeles Comedy Store. Like, some of the best comics in the world come through there.
All of them.
And then they come back.
Yeah.
And back and back and back.
Yeah. Every night there's like, national headliners. The whole lineup is insane. And then Amber and I are upstairs in the belly room.
Doing our job. Fluffing. I know. So how did you get your start in comedy?
So whenever I started out, I was actually here in the Valley at the Ha Comedy Club, which I still perform at. I love the Ha. Shout out. But I started hosting the open mic there.
Oh, wow.
And that was really helpful because it forced me to get on stage at the same time every week. You know what I mean? Like, it was my job. So, like, I had to be there, and it kept me writing.
That'll keep you busy for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
How long were you doing that?
Doesn't pay well. I did that for 2 years.
Wow.
I hosted the Sunday night open mic, which was the most sparsely attended open mic. But that was actually good for me because it gave me like a lot of stage time.
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't be a lot of people there, and I could just kind of fuck around, and then you kind of start meeting people that way. It's a good networking. I became known as this host of this show, and then so like people would put me on their shows from that.
Right. See, most of my time that I've spent on stage, I've been naked.
Yeah.
For dollars. And, it's really funny because I try to like transfer that confidence over, and it's like now my daddy issues are coming out in comedy instead of on the strip stage. It's like...
We all have lots of those.
Do you think that you have to be
so many
damaged?
Daddy issues, though. Like, really, have you seen the guys I've dated? I think I have granddaddy issues. I think that's pretty clear. It's the ghost of my grandfather. He hates that joke, and he alienates me whenever I tell him.
How did the fly find us?
I don't know.
It's gonna fucking ruin my fucking day.
It's okay.
Holy motherfuck. It really is. How do we get it? Oh, man.
I'm not skilled at that part. These are issues we don't have at my podcast because you can't see anything.
Well, yeah. Okay, let me start again. So, you've been doing comedy for only 2 years then?
No, 3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like almost new, but you're past like the initiation of...
Yeah, the hazing part of it. Yeah. I hosted that open mic for so long. I feel like that was my hazing into comedy. But I'm still a baby comic. I mean, I think you're a baby comic until you have like 7... I mean, people treat you like that at least. They're like... I hate that question, how long have you been doing comedy? Because people are like, oh, yeah.
I hate the question, how old are you? Like, seriously, like, why do people ask that and does it matter?
Don't answer it, Amber.
I don't.
Yeah.
Because I can't even remember. I was too young to remember that.
Yeah.
All the drugs I've done, there's just no telling what the real birth certificate is. All my identities.
I really want to have a birthday comedy show, but I just feel like the whole time people will ask me my age, and I don't want that. So I was thinking of setting up like some type of a cage apparatus.
And put the strippers in?
Yeah, there could be strippers there, but like if you ask me my age, you have to go in the cage, and you can't do your set. That's an idea I had. I don't know.
That's funny. So, how did you know that you always like wanted to be a comic? Did you know growing up? Because I know I didn't.
Oh, I didn't. I the first decade that I was out here, I was just doing straight acting.
Really?
Yeah,
and then it switched?
My life became such a joke that I decided to let people in on the joke. Literally, the first time that I went to the Ha-Ha, it was because my car got towed and I couldn't go anywhere else.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's like God was like getting you there through the tow truck company. God works in mysterious ways.
Yeah, and I had heard about the Ha-Ha like on podcasts and comics saying it was a good place to start. And I lived right around the corner from there.
Oh, yeah.
And I needed a drink.
Or two.
So I just biked on over there. And they were having the open mic, and
so you would bike over there regularly, but the first time
I went, I didn't tell anybody that I was not a comic. You know, you'll see a lot of comics at mics, and they're like, "This is my first time doing this." I didn't do any of that. I just pretended I was a comic.
You acted as if.
Yeah, totally act like, because I'm an actress, and I was like, "Oh, I'll act like a comic."
Right.
And I just went and I did my set. And I got a lot of laughs, and people were very receptive to it after. And they were like, "So where do you perform? Where you know what I mean?" And like, I was like, "Oh, I just fooled all these people
into thinking that I'm a comic." We have over here. This is Breaker on, and
he's backing that ass up.
He told me. I told you. All he wants is like for everybody to look at his butt. It's his thing.
He's literally found the camera.
He found the camera, and he's like, "Now, look, everybody, look at my butt."
His butthole found the light. He's like. Breaker. Okay, what happened to Breaker's eye? I was dying to know.
Well, he had like some kind of like cancerous thing behind it, so he had to have his eye taken because it was like putting pressure up against his eye, and had gone blind. Okay. Poor little thing. Everybody should rescue a dog, though. I highly recommend it, especially
or 4, like Amber did,
or 4. I think that if you're a comic, you need a dog.
Oh God,
especially one that can travel.
Yes, I want 4, just like you have. I want 4 dogs and 4 cats.
Do you think that it's harder being a female comic?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because when I went over to Ha-Ha with you, actually, like for a while, we were the only 2 females there.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a couple more showed up later, but we were basically
homeless broads.
A couple more people had their cars break down outside and had to come in and say some jokes in order to get a drink. So
you know that old story.
You know how that is. Like, who's your favorite comic?
Oh my God, Nikki Glazer.
Isn't she your friend?
She's my friend now, but like that was my ultimate. Whenever I started comedy, Rachel Feinstein. Amy Schumer, like all those girls that I was like, oh wow, they are talking about stuff I can really relate to. Right. Because whenever I grew up, though, Rita Rudner was one of my favorites when I was like a little girl. I'm really dating myself.
Where did you grow up?
Mississippi.
I'm sorry.
I know. Mississippi, and we had HBO.
How do you spell that?
Oh God, that's the joke.
Yeah.
We had HBO, and like Rita Rudner would have these comedy specials. Margaret Cho was something I remember watching as like a little girl.
Right.
And you know, whenever you're young, you think that they're just talking. Like, you don't
Yeah.
understand that these jokes are written out, and
That
it's
they
like
just
an art
don't show
form.
up that funny.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my god, these people have the funniest lives.
I
Like,
know.
they're so lucky to have those funny lives they can just talk about. And then whenever I got a little older, and like some of those younger comedians that I was just describing, like they were talking about things I could relate to, I was like, oh, maybe I could do that. You
Yeah.
know, like maybe you don't have to have these, I don't know. So whenever my car broke down, that was what my first set was about.
Yeah?
And
What did you say? What you were like, my car just broke down outside, so here I
It was
am.
at
I sure hope
Runyon-
this works out.
like it was at Runyon Canyon, and let's see if I can
Runyon
remember.
Canyon, for those of you who don't know and are not in LA, it's like this really like cool hike all the way up and around this mountain. But the thing about it is like everybody's there walking their dogs. There's women that are hiking like with full makeup on and looking perfect. There's a lot of celebrities. You'll pass like several celebrities as you're walking every single time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may not recognize them, but they're always there.
And it's something that you can do for free, right? There's no charge to go to Runyon Canyon. So in my head, I was so broke at this point. Like, all I could really do was go on this hike. And my car tags were expired. They were expired because I couldn't pay the registration.
Oh.
And what I didn't know is, like, the parking people will just go do laps around Runyon Canyon and look for people in this exact position, and they will tow your car. It's not a ticket. They will physically tow your car. So I'm coming back from this hike, like all rested and rejuvenated, and they're towing my car. And I lit into like a 3-year-old temper tantrum. And I'm like, please take it off the truck, sir. Like, he hears this 1,000 times a day. He doesn't
begging,
give a
please.
shit.
Every single reason.
And he's like, once it's, they always say the same thing, like, once it's tied up, I can't take it down, whatever. And so I'm just having this full-out temper tantrum, and just then the Starlight tour bus comes by, you know, the van where the people, like, sightseeing. And they're like, I can hear the guy on the mic, and he's like, and this is Charlize Theron's house. And I'm just, like, freaking out, crying. I'm like, I'm going to have to move home now because of you, to, like, the tow truck guy who doesn't give a shit. And I was just, I think the joke was, like, something like, okay, 1,500 girls a month move to L.A. to be an actress. Here's one of them on her way out of town right now. Because I literally thought that was it for me. Like, no car. It was going to be, like, thousands of dollars.
Don't you feel like going back and finding that person that towed your car?
And letting him know,
Like, look, I have money to pay it now.
He started this whole thing.
Yeah.
No, but like, I remember I called my parents that day. This was another one of the jokes. And my dad was like, well, you know, maybe it's time you go to computer school. I just think you should get involved in computer school. And I was like, that's not a thing. Like, what is computer school?
Computer school.
Only somebody in Mississippi would think there's something called computer school. I was like, Dad.
That's
like,
funny.
yeah.
He doesn't know that like every single person born after us was all like born on the computer.
I never had a computer.
Like
until...
they probably put like the mouse in babies' hands. Like they probably do it in the hospital in the nursery is what I'm guessing.
Seriously, every kid knows now, but I did not have one. Did not physically have a computer until I was 19. I had moved out to LA and I bought my first laptop. I remember it was like a Dell laptop because our house did not have one. My parents were very...
Do they have one now?
No. No.
So how do they watch any of your shows?
They don't. That's why I can talk about what I want to.
Oh my God. You're like...
I'm like, please don't watch it. It's very, you know, about sex. And
so they have no
my dating
idea
life.
how amazing you are
My
out here doing
mom-
comedy. Do you tell them like, do you remind them like, listen, so... I'm doing really well now in comedy. You should come see my show. Or
They
anything.
understand. They understand a little bit. Like my mom has an iPhone, so she knows that the podcast is on there. But every time she's like, "Now, how do I listen to it?" I'm like, "Yeah, you don't need to listen to it. It's fine," because I don't want her to hear this stuff.
You don't want to hear about the sex, the drugs, the rock and roll.
Yes, exactly. And I definitely could not have my dad hear those things.
Are they
'cause-
religious?
Very. My mom works at the Methodist Church. Shout out. OU Methodist, Oxford, Mississippi.
Wow. No
Well,
wonder
this
you
is the
became a
thing.
comic.
Well, my mom works in Methodist Church, and my dad owned a bar. So that's why I'm a
Oh my God.
well-rounded individual.
Or completely fucked up. One or the other.
One of the two. You be the judge.
So when you go out on stage, do you drink and do you do a bunch of drugs just to make yourself have confidence?
No, I'm actually sober now.
Okay.
Yeah, but there was a time when that was not the case. And
like you don't drink at all?
No, I do not drink at all.
Okay.
And because I used to be kicked out of some of the clubs I now perform at.
Are you serious?
Yes.
For what?
I was kicked out of the Ha-Ha.
I was kicked out of the Ha-Ha, and it was so not funny.
It was so not funny. And I've been asked to leave the Comedy Store politely late at night before. But yeah, it was not a good look. It was not a good time for me. And everything's totally turned around now, though. I mean, the times that I bombed the most on stage, it was because of alcohol.
Wow.
So I don't understand how people can get fucked up and go do comedy, or like, I hear a lot of people say they like to smoke weed before. Mm-hmm. I could not, because I feel like whenever you smoke, or at least whenever I smoked, like, you can convey a thought, but like the person doesn't understand. It's like certain words are left out, but in your mind it makes sense.
Yeah.
So jokes don't work that way. I mean, if you leave out one little word, the punchline doesn't work.
You have to be really, really specific about jokes.
Yeah.
And that's why you hear the professional comedians, like, they're up there and you'll get little clips, like the shows that they do all the way across the country. Those jokes are the same jokes that they've told over and over and over and over again. And then, like, some comedians, you're like, oh, I love it when they say this. You'll recognize they'll probably say that same joke that's their big joke for the rest of their career. Yeah. Like Natasha Leggero, like her joke
I love her. She's another one of my favorites.
Yeah,
I forgot to name
definitely
her.
one of my favorites, but hers is, I just broke up with my boyfriend, that one. I just broke up with my boyfriend, and, and I felt really bad, but, I just told him, I was like, it's just business. I didn't want to say, listen, you've run out of money. And I probably maybe missed like a word or two, because she does it like an exact way. Yes. And how she does it, just, it's like a huge laugh every time. And she's kind of like built her like brand around that image. She even went on to do that show about being like rich and stuffy and funny, because that was like the character she's created. Period? Yeah. Like, so what would your brand be? Like, what are you California blonde from Mississippi? Yeah.
Well, now it's like I've almost lived out here as long as I lived in Mississippi. So I do identify with, like, California.
I think that once people get to California. Yeah. I, identify with California. Totes. I don't like the president, and I drive a Prius.
No, I think my brand, if you will, that word.
Because mine's like kind of slutty and edgy.
Yeah, I have a little bit of slutty and edginess.
Please say no, it's not. That's where you say no, it's not.
I'm
Amber.
like, yeah, you are slutty and edgy.
You are kind of slutty and edgy.
Yeah, but mine is like, I don't know. I talk a lot about my crazy party girl past. So maybe it's the ex-party girl.
I do too.
Yeah.
I can only do it because...
I really regret that I was not a stripper. Can I just go on film saying that? I've missed out. I really missed out. Like, because I think in my 20s, whenever I could have done it, I had like a judgment on it.
What was your judgment?
Like, oh, I can't do that. Like, my parents would never, they would disown me. And they probably would, but,
But usually we're disowned at 18 anyway.
Yeah, they judge everything I do, and not a stripper, and now I'm just broke. So
they would probably never find out because they don't know how to get on the internet.
Yeah.
You could be a porn star and they would never know.
I just, fucked people for free, so...
or for drugs, or, like, for real things. Wow.
I don't know, that, I definitely have, changed my tune about it, because it is a feminist thing to be a stripper, because you're taking your sexuality and you're gaining, like, you're saying, I don't give a fuck, I'm gonna make my life better, instead of what most people do with their sexuality, if they're like promiscuous, is just give it away for free, fuck your life up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, there's that whole thing that's just come out about Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, yes. I don't know why people are so shocked by that. Like, why are people so shocked that you have to fuck a fat Jew to make it in Hollywood? Is that really news? I hope that
we've known this for like a while.
I know,
but now all of a sudden
that his
he's
shit
caught.
hit the fan, I just hope I finally get that meeting. You know, just what I was promised.
Like, you know, he can at least keep his word now.
Yeah,
now that he's
Harvey.
busted. Harvey,
If you're seeing this, number's still the same.
So now you're going up on stage. You're completely sober when you're up there, which I think is a really, really good thing because
it is a game changer.
Yeah, I mean,
if anybody's thinking about it, just do it. It's like it's a better life.
Like quitting
sobriety.
drinking?
Yes, sobriety, not comedy.
Some people catch on a lot
life.
slower. It's like slow-briety.
Yeah, I love that. I heard that the other day, and I love that slow-briety.
I have a chip that I wanted to celebrate with you, so this is really important. So I'm saving this just to show you again. So this is my... I got a chip!
She got a chip.
Round of applause.
Can we show this?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, girl.
10 minutes.
That is quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
I'm really proud of you.
Thanks.
Keep coming back.
I mean, the vodka before and after is, you know, don't count, but I got a chip in the middle.
I'm sorry that we never got to drink and party together, but you probably
I always think
would
that
be my friend.
with my friends. I'm like, God, I wish it would have been cool to do heroin with you, but I never did heroin. I'm like, God, I missed out.
I missed out on stripping.
You missed
she
out on
missed
stripping.
out on heroin.
I know. We are such losers.
I know. Fuck. So if you're watching at home, maybe those are two things you want to try. But I'm just kidding.
Yeah. So how do you deal with hecklers? Like, there's always going to be that person in the audience that feels like they have to say something to just ruin up your jive and your whole joke. Because I go blank. I forget where I am.
Yes.
I forget what the joke was because usually it's like a stream of consciousness of the da-dun-da-dun-da-dun-da-dun beat.
Yeah.
You know, like, what do you do?
Oh God. I mean, luckily I haven't had to deal with it too much.
Uh-huh.
And
do you have to say, shut the fuck up?
No, I have certain jokes that make them want to yell out. So like I have this whole thing about how I can never meet a man that's not allergic to cats, which is totally true. That cat's cock block me harder than my personality does. And so usually whenever I say that joke, there's usually like one drunk guy in the audience. It's like, I'm not allergic to cats or whatever. So I had to think of a retort to come back to that, which is usually like, oh, it's so weird whenever my brother comes to my shows.
That's so great.
I'll say like, it's so weird whenever my ex comes to my shows or, you know, whatever. So I think as a comic, if you were asking for like a advice, I think you just have to think of like your common retort, whatever it's going to be for those situations.
I think that it would be funny to say, that's my agent.
Yeah.
That's my agent.
Still trying.
You know, who made me do this show.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up! I'm doing it!
Yeah, that's good too.
I'm trying. So here's what's really annoying is when people, they are like, okay, so you're a comedian, say something funny. I just feel like
that. Don't say that, by the way. If anybody tells you they're a comic, don't be like, oh, tell me a joke, because a lot of people do that and it's lame.
It's like saying if you're a sex worker and somebody's like, okay, cool, so give me a blowjob. It's like, no, only when you're on the clock, right?
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing.
It's totally the same thing. And then also just before I started comedy, like if I would tell somebody who's an actress, they'd be like, oh, really? What have you done?
And I feel like saying,
IMDb me,
Google me.
motherfucker.
If you care, Google me. Or if they say, have I seen you in anything? I always go, I don't know. I'm not in your eyes. Have you?
Yeah.
What have you seen?
But like if you're a lawyer,
you don't give
somebody
your
would
resume.
be like, oh, what's the last case that you won? You know what I mean? Like
when's the next time you're going to court?
Yeah, it's so lame. Don't ask us questions, America. The fly is back. It's outside
of America. America. Home of the Americans.
Oh yeah, there could be people in foreign countries.
Most of them are like Mary, who watches this. She's in a different country.
Hi, Mary.
Yeah.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to Mary, and shout out to everybody else who is like living in their head. I get it. We have been there.
We understand.
We definitely understand. So, so you've had to have a lot of sex with a lot of people in order to get to where you are, right? I'm just wondering who.
I mean,
do I have to fuck to get a fucking good gig?
Oh my God!
That's the real question.
Unfortunately, no.
A big fat Jew.
Yeah. Just ask old Weinstein.
Oh, why? Have you ever had sex with a comedian?
Oh my God, Amber, we can't go there. But yeah. Totally.
So, have you ever had sex with a famous person?
Has anybody ever had sex with somebody they work with, like at your job? Yes.
I usually have sex with all of my co-stars in film.
Yeah, so...
Because it's a bonding experience. You're all there. You're like,
sometimes you're on location and you're like in the middle of nowhere and shit happens.
And you're like...
I get it.
Let's get popped. So do you have like any kind of like rituals that you do like before you go out on stage?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I'm a little bit of a pacer, I guess.
Do you pace while you're on stage?
You know that hallway in the belly room, green room? Mm-hmm. That's my jam. I'm hanging out there before I go. But because in the hallway you can also hear...
if it's your turn or not.
Well, I just want to hear like the energy of the room and like the other comics and see what people are responding to. Like, how much can I say pussy? Should I not? Is this more of a button-up crowd?
A button-up crowd that doesn't say pussy.
With a lot of these comics, it's like they bring their friends. They bring, Pam from work. I don't know how she's going to react to my daddy issues. Pam could
or to you being completely beautiful, because you are stunning. I mean,
thank you, and that makes people hate me.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, you walk in...
As soon as you walk on the stage as a female comic, they
want to judge you right away, like, oh, who does she think she is?
Yeah, and the girls think that, their boyfriend is looking at you, so they're not going to laugh at your shit.
And the truth is that you've already had sex with their boyfriends, and that's so over. And they have nothing to worry about, really.
And half the time I'm just like, you hear this southern accent. I've got my eye on my cousin. Like, let's be real.
So have you ever... Speaking of your cousin, have you ever been in love with somebody that wasn't your cousin?
Yes, I've been in love. A long time ago when I was dumb enough to believe in such things.
You don't believe in love anymore?
I mean... I believe in love between friends and family.
We'll make out later. We're doing a show. Okay, so please...
I don't know. Okay, that sounds bad. It's not that I don't believe in love, but monogamy is something that is waning. That belief, I don't know if it's for me anymore.
Great. And on that note, hold on, I've got to pee.
Hold on.
Okay. She was just telling me what? I asked her, like, during my little mini break, like, so, is there any crazy stories you want to tell me that you did, like, maybe while you were drinking or whatever? And she's like, I threw, what?
A glass bottle through a window. And I'm not condoning this, but this is what got me sober. Because...
Why? Who? The neighbor? Did they throw it back?
Like... No, it was through the window of the guy I was dating.
Through the window of his car?
His house.
That's fun.
So, in my head, it was romantic, right? Like, message in a bottle. But, like, the message was the bottle. There was no message inside.
You didn't have a message in the bottle, or you did?
No, I didn't.
But,
no.
But it's easy to romanticize it.
The message was, fuck you. And I did pay for it.
You
by
did?
the way. The next day, yeah. And it came full circle because he threw his cell phone through my car window on my birthday.
Did it break? Your window?
Yeah, it cracked it.
This sounds like a really awesome relationship.
Yeah, it was great. Remember how you were asking me about dating stand-up comics? That is what's waiting for you if you want to. Only if they're addicts.
Yeah.
So, which I'm not anymore.
Do you hang out with a lot of drug addicts? I do.
Oh, yeah, because in stand-up comedy, everybody's pretty much either a drug addict or sober. There's just, like, no in-between.
Right. Well, the thing about Carlisle is that I've noticed, and this is really great about you, is you are such a hustler. Like, she is, like, here, she's there, she's everywhere. She's doing open mic, she's doing stand-up, she's writing her own, bits. Like, is there anything you can't do? Like, seriously. You're an inspiration to me because... I want to stay, like, fetal position on the ground and, like, just kind of, like, scratch my arms and cry most days.
And then I drag you to an open mic.
And then you're like, we've got to go. And I'm like, oh. Like, she's one of the few that I can't make an excuse and be like, because she'll know that I'm full of shit.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so you're full of shit. I'll see you there.
Yes.
And I think it's good to have comedy friends like that.
Yes,
because
definitely.
you do become who you're around.
Yeah, and you got to stick with the women, too. I mean, you inspire me. You know, we gotta lift each other up.
I think so. It's good that we can, crack addicts, like really, like each other. We now look at us in Los Angeles up on the funny stages. So when's the last time you had sex?
Oh my God.
I'm married, so I never have it.
I'm going through a bit of a dry spell myself.
Are you?
Yeah, believe it or not. And it's not even like when have I had sex. It's like when have I had sex with somebody that I liked.
Or when is it that you've had sex with somebody else?
Yeah. No, you know how you just have those friends, or you don't know.
I do know.
You're married
I was very unmarried for a long time, and I have a roster. It's just like it was like this. Like, here's my men. Okay, so this one. Let's see.
And then there's like
which one you want to play? Because they're all bad.
They're all bad, but they're good for different things. It's like this one. Do you want to just cuddle and watch a movie? Like this one, my smart TV needs setting up. I have a pimple on my back. It needs popping. That's more.
This one, the other one will take you to a good show. Yeah. The other one will, tell you the truth that you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
But there's always like that one thing that you're like, but there's like this and you can't fix it. And you're like, that makes them where they're not your type. And you're
right.
With my husband, what I did is like, I never date really nice, good guys. It's just not my thing. I date like, people from prison with tattoos and everything. And I was like, with my husband, I'm like, I'm not going to date somebody without a tattoo. Like a regular.
Does he not have tattoos?
I went and made him get a tattoo.
so
I could go out with him. Because I'm like, I am not dating somebody without a tattoo. It's just not me.
Yeah.
He's like, are you serious? Oh, that's so, lame. But he did it. And now he's tattooed and hot.
Well, yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to meet a guy that doesn't have a tattoo. It seems like they all do. I have none, by the way, which I know is so rare. It's not that I don't believe in them, but like I'm an actress, so if you're on a set, it's just one more thing the makeup artist has to cover up and like...
The tramp stamp?
Yeah, you don't want like a lot of sleeves or anything like that. I mean, I'm not against it.
Dolly Parton has like full tattoos on her entire body.
What?
Dolly Parton has full tattoos covering her entire body. Like every time you see her on stage, you'll see that even if she has no gloves on the outfit, she'll have like a nude colored pair of gloves to cover it. Even her hands, she's got covered in tattoos.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a little insider secret. Like
I want to see a picture of the tattoos.
I know,
like full sleeves on Dolly?
Full sleeve, full body, everything. Dolly has her secrets beyond boobs. Yeah.
So wait, how did you meet your husband, though? How did I meet this good guy with no tattoos?
Well, I met him, actually, like, we met through a friend they were all hanging out at a recording studio for music, and his friend was, like, just goofing off there, and there was a bunch of girls we were hanging out, a bunch of guys they were hanging out, those girls, we went to the studio, and I'm just, like, there with my friends, and he actually thought that my friend Tony was, like, the prettiest of the group, and he's like, oh, I saw her, but then she started talking, and then he was like, no. And he completely basically...
Shout out to Tony.
Yeah, hey, Tony. She'll never watch this. I keep trying to get her to, and she just won't. And if you are watching this, Tony, yay!
Yeah, you finally tuned in. And
yay, welcome, subscribe. No, but... He didn't pay attention to me. He said it's because I dressed like a boy, which I think is just a cop-out. He just didn't think I was, like, pretty enough, really.
Did you used to dress like a boy?
No, I dressed like how I always dress, like with a rock t-shirt and jeans and combat boots.
I could see.
Yeah. A beanie, and, like, maybe I look like a lesbian, but not a boy. I mean, yeah, and...
Well, I don't know how I'm going to meet a husband then, because I'm only in comedy clubs every night, and that is not good husband material.
It's kind of like dating somebody from the strip club, though. You never know. Sometimes you might meet that one in a million who just was there by accident.
Yeah, right.
Like, the guy that was there because his friends made him.
Yeah. I mean, I'm on Bumble. Like, I'm trying, I guess, but...
I'm so glad I've never dated in the app age.
It's horrible. It's really horrible. Like, they just ghost on you. Like, I was just texting with this guy, and then he, like, went to Vegas last weekend, and I, like, haven't heard from him since.
Is he dead? I'm not trying to, like,
that was a horrible joke. That was a horrible joke.
Too soon. Oh my God.
Too soon, America? You be the judge. I'm sure you'll let me know in the comments.
Yeah. So
I thought it was great. Like, we really bonded over country music.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'll stop. Should I say that on Friday night at the Comedy Store? No.
I don't know. Do you want to, like... I won't be there.
You won't be there to laugh loud?
I'll be far away.
Maybe I'll save that one.
Oh my God. So have you ever been in therapy? It's what we really need to know here. Like, so...
Every day, once a day for an hour.
Just once a day for an hour, whether I need it or not.
Yeah.
Do you have, like, a soundtrack that would be, like, your music? Like, if you had a soundtrack of your life, what would your songs be? Here, while you think about it, I'll tell you mine.
Okay.
I think it would be basically... Well, Def Leppard has to be there.
Okay.
Def Leppard, because that's, like, the tape that I would listen to over and over and over again in high school. Cassette tape. Yes, I said tape. And, let me see who would be next. Depeche Mode, maybe.
Okay. See where you're going with this.
Okay, and then, let me think.
They're just looking at your dog while you think.
I don't know. I can't.
Okay, you asked me. Okay, so...
Eminem or Tool?
Oh, fuck yes! I was gonna say Tool.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the thing about me. I'm all over the board, all over the spectrum, because my favorite singer,
Yeah.
and I'm embarrassed to say this, it's Mariah Carey. I've loved Mariah Carey since... That was my first CD I ever got.
Aww.
And I think it's really cool that I'm the age that I am now, and she's still performing, because, like, all the other musicians fell off, like, you know... Paula Abdul and like all those, but Mariah Carey, she has stayed through my whole life of music, so she's my favorite singer. But Tool is my favorite band.
Tool is pretty badass.
So if that says anything about me,
I remember
totally
like
different.
You know, back when I would spend like way too much money on my car stereos.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm thinking back on that. I was like, I spent well. No wonder I didn't have any money. I would, like, you know, get my cars, like, all tricked out with, like, the best stereo.
Really?
Like, I would have the trunk built into, like, boom blasters and just because I really wanted loud music. It was like, I always wanted to drive a BMW, and I always wanted to have really loud music, and so I had both. And it was
You are living the dream right now, then.
Well, now I just have a regular BMW with just basically the sound that comes out of the stereo.
What are you doing with your life?
I know, I have no loud music, nothing. No Tool, like, blasting from it when I pull up. Now I pull up to a stoplight and I'm, like, singing weird, like, weird songs that have, like, nothing to do with anything. Like,
I met Maynard once.
Wow.
And do you know what we did together? This is so random. He's a weird dude. We played Thumb War.
Really?
That was our conversation. He wanted to play Thumb War. I used to work at this really hot club. If you live in LA, you might remember it. It was called Les Deux. If you don't live in LA, you might have seen it because it was always on, like, The Hills. Mm-hmm. That reality show. They're always filming that there. So he came in there one night.
Wow.
And I was freaking out. Nobody knew who he was except for me. And, because, you know, he doesn't ever, like, show his face or anything. And I talked to him for a long time, and he actually asked me to go home with him. But I had a boyfriend at the time, and
so you had to hide it from your boyfriend. So you had to hide it from your boyfriend when you went out with him.
No, I told my boyfriend that he asked me to go home with him, and he was like, "You should have gone." Like, he was a huge Tool fan too. He wouldn't have even fucking cared. But
oh my gosh,
I just feel like he would have like stuck a chainsaw up my butt or something. Like, he's a weirdo.
Like Marilyn Manson. I could imagine Marilyn Manson doing something like that.
Yeah, he's totally weird.
Okay, if you could have like sex with any celebrity, who would it be? Besides,
you mean that I haven't already?
Besides me.
Okay.
Besides me.
Let me see. Oh my God. I can't think of any. I hate it. I hate their, like, narcissism. I'd rather sleep with a normal dude that was hot.
And you think that actors aren't normal or famous people aren't normal?
They are, but I mean, like, that's a hard question. I'm sorry. I'm sucking at it.
It's alright. We'll wait. We have all day.
Who is my celebrity crush that I would sleep with?
Have you ever met a celebrity crush?
Yes.
Okay. But you
Old
didn't sleep
news.
with him.
Just kidding.
Yeah. I think, like, I don't know him. I've never seen him. But, like, when I was growing up, I loved Matt Dillon.
Okay.
From
he's still around.
The Outsiders, but I've never met him, and he's around.
He's probably more gettable now than ever.
Yeah, but you don't want him when he's gettable.
Right.
I wanted him like 20 years ago when I could not have him ever.
Right.
It's just like the imagination of like, oh, he's so... But he's not the characters that he plays, but I think it's the characters. Like, I love the characters, like the bad boys.
Yeah.
With tattoos.
This tattoo thing.
What is with the fucking tattoos? I have no idea. Well, I am the kind of mom, too, that I went out with my daughter and got...
Everybody
like,
thought you were sisters.
Yeah. People say that.
I can't even believe you have a daughter.
I can't believe I have a daughter either, but she's pretty smart. She's pretty awesome, and she is very independent. Definitely independent. And, yeah. So... Hey, Allie, if you're watching this, I have some shoes for you if you want to text me and call me about the shoes. So anyways, back to another subject. I don't know how we got off on the Allie, my daughter thing, but yes, Allie is amazing. She is smart, and I think that as a parent, like if you can make the next generation better than you, you've done an okay job.
Yeah.
So how many abortions have you had?
I have no desire to do that.
How many abortions have you had?
I've actually never had an abortion. I think I'm barren.
Would you have an abortion?
I would, but like at this point, I don't think I could even. Like there must be something wrong with me that I've never had to have one.
I know. I don't have any friends that haven't had one.
Should I put on my Bumble profile that I'm infertile? Do you think? No,
you should just say. You should just put in parentheses no abortions.
Oh, barren and ready to mingle.
Barren without abortions. I think that's going to be the name of this. Barren without abortions.
Yes.
Okay. Well, now we've talked about abortion, I think that you have probably been popped.
Yes.
So, do you feel popped?
Yes, we've come full circle.
Definitely. Okay, so thank you guys for watching us, and I know that we're just like a bunch of ridiculous comics having fun in the valley where dreams go to die. But that's okay. We love you anyway. So please subscribe, like, comment below because I want to hear all of your bullshit that you've got to say about this.
And tune into the 2 Girls, 1 Guy podcast, which is available for free on iTunes.
Definitely. And so 2 guys, 1...
2 girls, 1 guy.
2 girls. Oh,
the perfect threesome.
That. Find it. Find it, watch and listen to her podcast. I have a feeling that after this weekend, because we have some fun things planned for this weekend that we're going to go do by ourselves. And I think after this weekend, you're going to be filming a lot more.
Ooh, I hope so.
It's going to be fun.
Yes.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.
Baddest bitch on the beach. I slide on my bikini, oil up nice and greasy. Cause I know all these folks came to see me competing in the pro sandcastle competition. Y'all wanted to know my secret, now you're about to take a listen. I build up my mound, up from the ground. My design just getting started, they're all watching me now. Love is cheering me on, haters wanting me to fail. I pull some water from my bucket, start my details. While you're doing plain drip drops, I'm intricating rooftops. Don't even use a mold, you know, cause I'm classic old school. Judges checking out my castle, so many things to note. You think you got a secret weapon cause you got a moat? No, check out these doors, replicas of the 18th century. Look at this throne, in the back a tiny monastery. You can't keep up, your style is as good as this. I'll see you at the after party if you're on the list.
It's the pro sandcastle competition. Yeah, bitch. Splish, splash, yeah, bitch. It's the pro sandcastle competition. Yeah, bitch. Splish, splash, yeah, bitch. Splish, splash, yeah, bitch.